Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here with Carl Anderson. My name is Andrew McKirahan, and we are here at the beautiful Win Reality Studios in Austin, Texas. Sun is shining, the birds are flying, and thank you all for joining us here. Just wanted to give you guys a glimpse at what we're doing at Win Reality, take you inside the application, answer any questions you guys may have. We know the high school and college season has just kicked off, some folks for this weekend. This could be a great opportunity for players to get more reps in. Carl was a professional hitter. If you want to speak just a little bit on how seeing live pitches each day could have helped you and what we've been able to do for players now.
Of course. I think a big part about a season getting started, hope everyone's getting back on the field, whether it's baseball or softball, and just getting back into competing against each other. A big part when seasons start, you're facing real game action. You start to learn a lot about your preparation that you went through the offseason. A lot of that goes into, am I on time? How are my mechanics as a hitter? All that work, that's really that final test. And being able to kind of add another resource and face more live pitching. And just being able to get that speed, practice, and take some stress off our bodies.
Right. And I would say, the weight room, eating right, sleeping, having a swing coach is all important, but what are you all doing at home as parents, as players, as coaches to help your players, your son or daughter, work on pitch recognition, work on the discipline aspect against a live arm? A machine, a parent, a coach, front toss can only do so much. How can we train our brain and our minds to see a fastball at 95 1,000 times, or a sidearm, or an underhand, a fast pitch rise ball, whatever it may be. So that's what we've taken the initiative here at Win Reality to provide you guys with, is a tool to be immersed into a stadium, a real situation, and face a live arm. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the application. We're using the Oculus Quest 2. It's a $300 headset, wireless, portable, very easy to find and use. And so you can head on. If you want to head over to our website, I believe we're offering a month free trial right now through March. So great way for you guys at home to try it. Coaches, check it out. We're going to jump in. So Carl, if you want to throw on the headset here.
This is the Quest 2, and real quick, I know a lot of people start to think, Andrew, about how mentality changes when you're in game action, right? You start to worry more about pitches you're swinging at. Are we taking the right approach? Are we seeing the ball well? Just checking shit's on.
Sorry, we're making sure our mics are on.
Yep. It's on.
We're a tech company. You think we could figure out the technical stuff here, but we're humans too. So hopefully that's better. If not, I'll kind of take over here. But yeah, I think Carl was saying is the big thing is just getting players to see more pitches. Pitch recognition is such a big part of the game. One thing you guys may have heard me say, I'll say it again. Major leaguers, when they swing in the zone, 286 batting average. When they swing outside the zone and expand, swing at a ball, that number goes down to 156. So a huge difference here. Something that's really hard to train, and that's our big attention. So.
Let's jump into it.
All right. See what Carl's got today. He looks a little nervous to me. So Carl is going to put on the headset. Should be able to see in just a second. He is inside the Win Studio, inside the application. He'll be on our main menu here in just a moment. We'll make that switch here. Okay, so we've logged in. Each player has their own profile just because we want to be able to show you guys week to week, month to month, season to season, the progress that's being made. So we can track each pitch, data, send progress reports. And another big thing to note here is Carl has the ability as a player to start with a baseline assessment, really diagnose what he's good at already, where he has some room to improve on, and from there put together a training progression to really provide the most opportunity to be successful and hit the ball, make it to college, pro ball, whatever the goals may be. So training mode, left, that's more individualized for each player. Baseline assessment, training assignments, And then from there, we'll go into practice mode. So first mode we're going to do today is our occlusion mode, really training the eyes. How well can we see the ball from different distances? In this particular program, we have over 400 pitchers to choose from. This is baseball. We have youth all the way up to pro guys. So over 400. Carl may want to see what do you want to start with? Start high school. Okay? And then from here, we can say, all right, we want to face a guy throwing high velocity, medium, low. We want to see a low three-quarter righty. And then from there, cutter, fastball, slider, whatever pitches we want to see today. Looks like Carl wants to keep it simple, fastball, slider. And then from there, we can work one particular part of the zone, or if we want to do all parts, balls and strikes. And they'll be really based on each pitcher's data that we have. So that's what we do to create the pitchers, is program the video footage with the data and recreate that pitcher's hologram. So I'll let Carl go through a couple pitches here. Whole idea, he's going to be in the batter's box, get situated, normal stance, take a breath, keep it as game-like as possible. That's what we want to achieve here. So he's really making sure he can pick up the ball before it hits this blue box. Now, obviously, he's inside the headset, so he's going to have the batter's view. We want to show you all at home exactly how he's doing here. So
this first mode with occlusion, when that ball hits that blue box, it's actually disappearing. So we're limiting the amount of information I have as a hitter when reading these pitch types. So right now, that box is about 13 feet out in front of the plate. I'm going to make my decision pretty easy, picking up fastballs as opposed to sliders. But we can actually place this box anywhere from home plate towards the pitcher's mound.
So we'll see here, anytime that Carl is right, you're going to see a green line. So at any mode, at any point in the application, green always means good. Red means he made the wrong decision. And so we're really making sure as the ball moves further and further back, as that blue occlusion box moves further and further away, we can pick up the ball. And what we found, hitters have to be able to pick up the baseball or softball anywhere from 12 to 14 feet away to give themselves the best opportunity to make the right decision, be on time, and ultimately get a hit. So Carl was able to actually move this box from 0 feet all the way out to 30, 40 feet to making sure he can pick up the ball from different distances. So it looks like we're seeing a lot of green.
Yeah, I like to work my way out to like 40 feet. I think that's a comfortable range for me. But obviously, the further out we can get, if we can pick that ball up right out of the hand, recognize slider, recognize fastball, that's huge.
Okay, so let's go into pitch recognition mode. So second mode here, Carl's going to select a pitcher. You want to do a youth guy, maybe college? Okay, so we're going to do a youth lefty here. We're going to select whatever pitches we want to see. Maybe we'll do 3 here, spice it up. And we'll do all locations again. So this mode, pitch recognition, is really about letting the player be in the batter's box, again, normal stance, and be able to correctly identify down to the inch where we think that ball crossed the zone. You see big league guys, professional college players on TV, how well do they know the zone? Right? We see them on TV. They got rung up on a fastball that was right on the corner. They're jumping up and down. That was a ball. That was a ball. That was a strike. So if we can see 1,000 pitches a week, a couple hundred a day, it's going to allow us to really make that decision. So after the ball is thrown, Carl's going to say, I think this ball came in exactly here. Move that blue ball around. If we pause real quick, right here it says placement distance, 8.41 inches away. So not a bad start. We hope to get under 3 or 4 inches. So that's the first step, identifying placement distance, and then the pitch type. How well can we, again, pick up a fastball, a changeup, a slider out of the hand, and do that consistently. So
yeah, this was a good example of what you were just talking about, where I'm seeing this ball down, I recognize this pitch below the zone for a ball, when actually this pitch at the bottom corner. So if this is a strike, I'm getting this called a strike.
Carl, I don't think they can hear you. Let's go to the next pitch here. See how close he can get. So just for you guys at home watching, our major league players over the past couple of seasons of us really diving into the data average anywhere from 2 to 2.5 inches away. So he might make his high school team here. 6.80 inches away. Not bad, headed in the right direction. It's going to tell us after each set, after 20 pitches, what our average is. So if we're averaging 6 or 8 inches, we really want to make sure we can make some adjustments. What are we focusing on? Are we even focusing on the baseball? Some guys watch the arm. They're watching out in center field, the backstop. Let's make sure we can really pick up the ball and focus on that. That's what we're going to be hitting. So next pitch, 4 inches away, a lot better there. For catchers at home as well, we've had quite a few Major League guys in spring training this week sit behind home plate and be able to catch whatever pitcher they want. Let's get those mental repetitions and really build that catalog and build confidence. Guys got to be able to do this well. Can we get the location? I think this is great as well. We had a couple of big league guys working on their throwdowns. How well can my body get into position if a guy is running from first base, right? Curveball down, can I get my body up? And kind of visualizing making that throw.
Let's see this one more.
So Carl's trying to stick pitches back there as a catcher. So you can see a lot of different applications here. Lefty, righty, catcher. See a lot more. All right, moving right along. Let's go to practice mode. Quick recognition. You want to do 2 strikes?
Yeah, let's do 2 strike.
Okay, so this mode, how well can we accurately react and recognize a strike, specifically in a 2-strike count? Really important. So here, again, you may notice and ask, why are we not using a bat? We're really getting to that point, working on the brain, the eyes, and just making that decision before we put a bat in the hand. Okay, so here, Carl's going to pull the trigger, 2-strike count, whenever he gets a strike. Okay, so this is saying, hey, on a fastball, can we pick it up at 20, 30 feet out, or maybe sooner than that based on the velocity?
This is a college guy.
Okay, so college pitcher.
This is a good pitch.
So if we pause real quick here, it looks like it was a ball, right?
Yep, ball down.
Little down. That's why it was red. And you can see out there in blue, it's going to say exactly where he made his decision. And then in black, just past that, where the optimal decision would have been based on the velocity. So again, I like to call it, you may have heard this, yes, 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 or yes, yes, no. Committing, being aggressive, pulling the trigger. If we get a pitch in the zone, a hittable pitch, something close, or being able to have that same aggressive mentality and hold up on a pitch just out of the zone. So let's do one more here. For you softball folks at home, we're going to jump into softball in just a second. Not bad, not bad. So Carl's decision there, 21 feet away. It's going to tell him optimally he wanted to be a little bit further out there. But still, efficiency you can see right here, about 72%. Pretty good. We have 3 others, quick recognition modes. We have a nitro zone where players can really work in one particular area, their hot zone, work on a fastball count. So we're going to get into softball now. Again, the exact same modes, different stadium, different pitchers. We can do release point training.
Yeah, let's jump into release point training. We'll face a high school pitcher.
So we'll do a high school girl here. How well can we pick up the ball right out of the hand? Right? If we can pick up the ball in the first 5, 10, 50 feet, really gives the hitter an advantage versus picking the ball up in the last 5 to 10 feet. So we're really matching colors of softballs here. So if Carl goes to continue, we're going to see a colored ball flash. So if that ball matches the ball right out of the hand, Carl's going to pull the trigger.
I think I got that one wrong. That was yellow. I was looking for a green, saw a yellow softball. Made an incorrect decision here. And we'll see that exact decision time.
So it may be hard for y'all to see at home. The ball's going to flash really quickly. Inside the headset, you can clearly see it.
So we got that one right. We'll see a correct decision. Looking for green, saw green out of the hand. See that decision time was a little bit slower, and we'll also get an efficiency. So trying to be correct every single pitch so we're not up there guessing, seeing how quickly are we getting our eyes in the right spot and making the right decision with the information.
get a lot of things can happen very, very quickly here. So 5 to 10 minutes, you can see 100, 120 pitches. Obviously, during a season or at practice, it's hard to get a pitcher to throw. And just to reiterate, major league hitters swinging inside the strike zone, 286 average versus 156. So our whole thing is you got to win the strike zone. You got to swing at pitches in the zone, especially when you're ahead in the count, looking for one particular pitch in a location, and being able to hold up on a ball out of the zone. So discipline is everything.
All right, one more in
Let's
here.
do one more here.
So 6 for 7, not bad.
I know some of y'all have entered some questions, so we can. I think we covered the main parts here. So we'll open it up to kind of some Q&A stuff. And again, we're going to be doing this weekly, maybe every couple of days. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube. We're going to keep you guys posted on everything that we're doing here. We have a lot of really interesting things coming up. You want to talk about a little bit about swinging in the bat?
Yeah, but real quick, I think an important part when we're going through our training in there is just working on our rhythm, working on our timing as a hitter. While we're going through each of the modes, as we're timing up the pitcher, different arm slots, different velocities, that's a huge part of everything. Yep.
And some of you guys that are already using us, we appreciate your support. If you have any questions, any issues, make sure you email support@winreality.com. And our guys here, our team, will be able to get back to you and respond very, very quickly. Just to note one thing, the bat. So a lot of y'all are probably like, why are we just using the controller? Why aren't we swinging? You want to touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, so with our recent integration with Diamond Kinetics, actually added a mode into our application where any player, baseball, softball, any level, can grab their game bat. And using a Diamond Kinetics swing tracker and a WinReality bat attachment, we're able to swing at these pitches. And we get things right now like, okay, what's my projected distance? Am I swinging at the right pitches? Hand speed, bat speed, and as we move along, start incorporating more of those where we're getting that real experience in the batter's box and just making it more lifelike. Just putting a bat in our hands can be that important.
Right. Training on demand, seeing a live pitcher. If you're in a hotel room, you're on vacation, before a game, at home, living room, garage, putting on a headset, really working on the timing aspect. And then once you've gotten a really good grasp of that, can you put on the bat, swing it, make contact, and see the different metrics there. So, that's something that's coming down the pipeline. Like you said, Diamond Kinetics, we have a lot of different things there that we can track now. Second phase, hopefully in the next few weeks, will really be more about bat path, leading into contact, seeing the ball flight, which is really going to change everything.
Yeah, no, just getting in there, competing. I know a question we just had is how it's spin incorporated on the baseball. A lot of what we do with our training based on speed differentials, based on pitch shapes. So what's a slider look like out of the hand as opposed to a fastball? And as a hitter, a lot of times by the time you pick up that spin, it's way too late. Any decision we need to make, whether it's a pitch type or a swing decision, we're already beat at that point.
And one thing regarding spin, in the application, you can see the laces on the ball, right? So spin efficiency isn't 100%. The technology is just not even there yet. But like Carl alluded to, it's a very, very small percentage of hitters can actually pick up the ball right out of the hand and see the spin. Usually it takes 15, 20 feet worth of ball flight information to see it, see the pitch shape, whatever it may be, and make that information.
And another question we just had is how do you get the bat sensor? So this piece on the bottom is through Diamond Kinetics. It's called their swing tracker. You can head to their website and get it. We do have a coupon code on their site that gives you a discount, but this is through Diamond Kinetics.
Good questions. Good questions. Keep them coming. Boundary and safety. So within the Oculus, for those of you that have used it, there is a Guardian that you can set up, whether it's a stationary, 5-foot radius, or if you're in a garage, you have more space, you can really draw a 15, 20 foot kind of safety net where if you step out, the application completely shuts off. And then as far as swinging the bat, players can use any bat, whether it's a mini bat, their own bat at home. attach the Diamond Kinetics sensor and the bat attachment, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'd recommend setting up a spot in your house, whether it's in the garage, where players are able to safely take swings, not breaking anything. But in terms of the modes that we ran through and using the controllers, pretty much anywhere. Don't need a whole lot of space. You need a batter's box. We have had people throw up hot spots in a car and see some pitches there. But with the bat, definitely, I mean, safety is key. We don't want to be hitting anyone or anything.
All right, how are training programs built for each user? So a big piece to what we do here at Win Reality is allowing players to take their baseline assessment. Very big to start. Whether you're a big league guy, you're an 8-year-old kid at home, let's get some round numbers based on where you stand today, and then track that progression over weeks and months, and maybe do a reassessment. And then from there, our performance team, can put together a progression program for each player. Say, hey, player A needs to see 50 pitches Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it may be. Softball, baseball, for each age group as well. So we can really get personal and customized there.
Yeah, and just being able to find certain weaknesses that maybe you didn't know about it. Maybe we struggle with recognizing fastballs in the outside half of the plate. That's all things that we can take away from a baseline assessment and get you in some sort of routine where we are working on weaknesses, but also hammering out those strengths and getting real reps.
Yep. Great question. That is a big piece to it. So each player has their profile, baseline assessments, putting together progression programs for each guy. And then the weekly reports is a big piece of that too.
Yes.
Another question, can you freeze any pitch at any time? So you can't freeze it, but you can go at your own pace, right? So if you saw a pitch, you're going to be able to see the ball flight information is going to stay there. With the bat, you're going to be able to see your bat path and really assess yourself. You can move around. I think it's awesome being inside of there, looking underneath. You can see the laces. You can see exactly where that ball came in, right out of the pitcher's hand, all the way to where it ended up at home plate.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. And I think talking about freezing pitches, thing we could do with there is just moving that occlusion window so we are only seeing certain distances. Maybe we only want to see 20 feet of a pitch. We want to see half of the pitch. That occlusion mode's great for that.
Yep. Another question. I've got 2 kids that played. Would I need a subscription for each? So if you sign up online, you're going to get 3 users, right? So if you got 3 kids at home, 2 kids at home, each one will have their own profile, username and password. So the data is separated and organized. So really good question there.
Yeah, and that's a good place. Keep track of all their numbers, how many pitches they're seeing individually. They'll have their own baseline assessments, have their own training programs. There's no need to worry about that.
And another thing here, based on the data, so you're working on inside the headset, say you saw 500 pitches in a week, 1,000 pitches in a week. Going on to our dashboard account where parents, players, coaches can see everything in a very organized manner. Leaderboards, we can do competitions. For coaches, it's a great tool to be able to use. We know you guys are, putting together rosters and practice plans, travel, getting things together. The dashboard is kind of our way of saying, hey, hands off, we'll do all the work for you. Just put your player in the headset and let's put together a plan for each one.
Yeah, and we have another question here. Is there training that teaches what specifically to be looking for to identify pitches sooner? All of our modes, you spend some time in each of them. That's what we're here for. Being able to work on picking up pitch types earlier, working on making decision points earlier. The more we're able to see live pitching, we're going to improve on all of those things. There's things we're going to pick up from certain arm slots, and just getting in there, running through those training modes. And I think when you look at what good players do and what people talk about when they think of, okay, good players, they're just consistent. Same thing with training, same thing with practice. You have to be consistent with it and get on some sort of schedule, some sort of plan to actually see improvement and implement it onto the field when you're playing games.
Right. Please elaborate customization option for training programs for high school teams. So that's one thing we're able to offer our college, high school, any youth level program is, hey, you have 15, 20, 50 players that are using this. We're able to upload all their information, username, password, so we can say, hey, Joe saw 50 pitches yesterday, Will saw whatever today. Again, that goes back to the baseline assessment. Are they doing the baseline assessment, really tracking what they're good at already, where they have some room to improve on, and then saying, hey, it's an 8-week, it's a 12-week, 24-week progression for each player. Maybe the first baseman loves the ball up and in, really struggles against changeups, soft things down and away. We're going to make sure we can put together a plan for him to see more off-speed pitches, work away, and get him more confident.
Yeah, getting those players all in there, whether it's a high school program, a lot of college programs, also having the ability to connect multiple devices. So if you are in groups or you're traveling, you're able to get multiple players in the headset at the same time where they are working under their own profile, or just stations when you're hitting. I mean, every coach, maybe they're throwing batting practice, they look to the side, have some kids messing around. That's quality time. If we're in the cage, we're getting work in, throw some guys in there, 5-10 minutes, get some pitches in between rotations and sessions.
Right. Great questions and feedback. Again, we want to hear your responses and any questions, recommendations that we can do to be better, let us know. We're here to serve you guys and make sure we can put together the best training, most realistic training platform available. So if you have any questions, concerns, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Email us at info@winreality.com. We'd be happy to help. Hop on a personal demo, phone call, whatever it may be. Our games competition is currently incorporated. So that's something we are working on, is where an organization, a program, academy can have very fun modes where players can get in there and compete, say, hey, I'm a 12U, I want to compete and kind of see where I rank against other 12Us. And so that's something that we're really pushing right now. That goes back to more of the dashboard stuff where players and coaches can really go in and see and compete against each other. We're going to do some giveaways, some prizes. We have a big one coming up really soon, actually, which I don't know if we can talk about today, but it's coming. I think you guys will like it.
No, thank you, Andrew, and I appreciate everyone showing up. Last question, will this work with the Oculus Quest 1? Yes, works with the Quest 1 or the Quest 2. And you can find this bat attachment on our website. Holds the Oculus controller. But yeah, I mean, something that I definitely wish I had when I was playing, and you as a former big league pitcher, I'm sure you're glad you missed that window. Yeah, pitchers hate us for a reason. I mean, you're able to face an arm whenever you want on demand. We've had some really good feedback at the best players in the world, World Series champions, Major League MVPs, and now obviously there's even more of an opportunity to help the younger players out at home, high school coaches, whatever it may be. So make sure you tune in. We may do this again. We had a good turnout today, so thank you all. If you have any questions, make sure you go to our website. Drop us a link, Instagram, say something, info@winreality.com. For those of you that need immediate help, support at winreality.com will be your place. And we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you.